you mean girl. Okay, so today, obviously, I'm going to talk about mean people and mean girls specifically, because girls are, catty. Let's just be real. Girls are really catty, really not cool sometimes, and I want to talk about something that my best friend and I were discussing yesterday. So to do that, I have to tell a story. Woo! Story time. So, back in 5th grade, I had a very good friend of mine, who shall go unnamed, but he and I got really pretty close, and I was actually a lot closer to his little sister. So, fast forward a good, like 5 years, to 10th grade, and, he got a girlfriend, and it was a girl who, hated my guts. So he had moved away sometime between 6th and 7th grade. I hadn't really noticed because I was kind of like caught up in my own junk. But we ended up going to different middle schools, so like we lived in different parts of our town. So we were separated for a little while, and it really didn't bother me. I was kind of like not paying attention, and we had kind of fallen off towards the end of the year. Anyway, so this girl in middle school had kind of like indirectly tortured me. She made it well known that I was not ever going to be popular or well liked or whatever. And our school really didn't have cliques or anything. But yeah, she was just definitely like, she was the volleyball girl, and she was just like, who do you think you are? Like all the time. And yeah, it was just really awkward and kind of painful, and she just like continually rejected me, and it was kind of awkward. Her mom worked in the office, and her mom and her aunt were always like really nice to me, and she just hated my guts, and she made it really clear. So 10th grade, they start dating, and it was just so supremely awkward, because I remember the first day of 10th grade, I went over to hug him, and he, of course, hugged me back, and we were, like, catching up, and super duper excited, because he'd only started back to school with us, like, part of the way through, like, the second semester or freshman year, like, I think for the little last, grade reporting period, he was with us. So, I really hadn't had a chance to catch up with him or anything. So, first day of school, like, I ran up to him, gave him a big bear hug, and, I was talking to him and everything, and, I remember about 30 minutes later, another girl who I didn't particularly care for at that point, came up to me and was like, hey, you better stay away from him. Like, you don't have anything going on with him, do you? And I was just like, no, he's my really good friend. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing going on. Doesn't he have, like, a girlfriend or something? And so, yeah, this other individual made it known that my nemesis and one of my really good friends were dating, and that I was to stay away. So, me being me, I was just like, you're not going to tell me what to do, so you can back off. So, I started intentionally hugging him in the hallway in front of her, and we had this really weird, catty sort of war going on over a boy that I didn't even like, and I ended up spending so much time trying to get back at this girl that I ended up actually developing feelings for him. And they weren't ever really serious feelings. I'm the type of person where if I like somebody, chances are I probably like somebody else as well. I'm not one to put all of my eggs in one basket. So I was like, really, it was getting competitive, and it was kind of turning ugly. And there were a couple points where I was like, you know what? I'm not a fighter, but I will hit this girl in the face. I cannot believe that she is over here saying this about me and this, that, and the other, and it was just awful. So, eventually, sometime towards the end of my sophomore year, I got really tired of being involved in the drama. So, we were hanging out after school. There were a bunch of us kind of sitting around waiting for our parents to give us rides. And I just walked up to her and I was like, hey, I don't have the energy to hate you anymore. I just don't. I'm worried about school. I'm worried about passing my classes and getting out of here. I don't want to hate you anymore. And she was like really taken aback by that, and I kind of was too. I was not expecting myself to say that. We hadn't actually talked to each other at all throughout this whole thing. Like, we never actually talked to each other. Like, we just sit there and throw dirty looks at one another and hug this boy in front of each other and just do like these catty passive aggressive things that in retrospect are really dumb, because neither of us ended up with this kid in the long run. She's dating someone and she seems really happy, and I'm really happy for her. And we actually ended up being really good friends. And it's just really, really interesting that, I mean, we both turned into such mean girls, and we were doing horrible things to each other, and really toying with each other's emotions and toying with this other kid's emotions, which wasn't really fair, because at the end of it, it was almost like she was staying with him to get back at me, and I was pulling on their relationship as hard as I possibly could. And that's always something that I've sort of regretted. Like, I really regret like just tampering with that, because I didn't ever really want to date the kid. Like, had I gotten my way and had I successfully broken them up, I wouldn't have gained anything from it. I wouldn't have wanted him as my boyfriend. I was just kind of in it to be in it. So, yeah, I think that's something that girls do to each other a lot, and it's not really cool, and I'm really ashamed of myself, and I'm ashamed that I did that to somebody, and that I did that to two people, and I wreaked havoc on a relationship that I really shouldn't have meddled with. It was none of my business, and I was just too proud, and I could not stand the fact that someone was telling me what to do with myself, and especially someone who I didn't feel like I owed anything to, and someone who had wreaked so much havoc on my personal life and my self-esteem back when we were kids in middle school. So, yeah, it was elementary, high school drama that just escalated and escalated and escalated, but eventually we burned out. And what I want to talk about is the kind of hatred that doesn't burn out. There's another instance where one of my best friends, we had been best friends since 3rd grade. We were very, very close. We developed a very, very close friendship. And I sort of tore her away from her best friend from the year before. And it wasn't, like, I didn't do it intentionally, and I didn't even know, but this girl didn't like me, and her old best friend didn't like me, and I had taken her best friend, and you know, this best friend and I, like, we just grew up, and then all of a sudden in 8th grade, just something happened, and I don't even know what started it, but she started talking crap about me on MySpace, back when MySpace was cool, and yeah, it was really painful to experience. She started talking crap about me to another friend. She found somebody that she liked more than me, and I felt like I was being replaced. So I, of course, did not take the high road. I took the low road, and I told everyone, or specifically this girl that she was replacing me with, I told her all of her secrets, and that wasn't right of me, and that was something that I really should not have done. And to this day, me and that best friend, we aren't cool because of the fact that I went and told everyone her secrets, and I reminded everyone of some painful instances in her life when she was really, really embarrassed, and it wasn't right, especially things that shouldn't, in retrospect, like, I really shouldn't have even made fun of her for it. There was one instance in particular that I really harped on, and that was her exploring her sexuality as a kid. She got caught in, like, I guess, like, this sort of lesbian relationship, and she got caught by a teacher, and in the middle of class, and it was really, really embarrassing for her, and I shouldn't have made fun of it, because, you know, and there's really nothing wrong with exploring who you are and trying to figure out where you fit, and I just made it seem like it was the worst thing in the world. And so, you know, I am a mean girl, and I didn't have to be that way. So, like, I'm taking steps to not be so mean, and I just want to talk to, like, girls who are doing this to each other. Sometimes hatred isn't worth it. Holding on to something, or holding on to just ill feelings, it just really isn't worth it in the end. You spend so much energy and time being frustrated, and they really just end up being like smears on your life. Like, when you look back, you're just like, why did we do that to each other? Why were we so horrible to each other? Why did we feel the need to take it so far? And I really feel like I kind of inflicted some, at least elementary level of damage to this girl. Like, and it's just a very rudimentary sort of way. I really feel like I hurt her soul because she, in high school, kind of went out of her way to prove that she was straight. And, that could have potentially ruined her life because she was trying so hard to make sure that everyone forgot what I had brought up again, because everyone had forgotten it because we were so young when it happened. So yeah, as someone who has been there and done that, I would definitely advise you to change for the better, because change is great. Bye!